first recording of this campaign, and it is session 0 of Innocence Lost.
Ooh, interesting.
I am joined here with Kevin, who will be playing the role of Kaga, a Knoll Ranger.
This is good.
Okay.
So yes, I am. The player is named Kevin, and as for the character is Kaga, Knoll Ranger. My homeland is from Katapesh.
All right.
So this will be an interesting thing. Innocence Lost. Ooh, I'm so excited.
Okay, you're something. Okay. So
I came from my
you
mother.
so you are actually in for a treat with your fellow players.
Am I?
So you are actually finding yourself in the city of, or I guess I should say the town of Nestone.
Yes.
Nestone has about a population of 1,500 people, with 70% humans, 15% orcs, 10% gnomes, and 5% other races. This town is known by adventurers in this country as being a good place to prove yourself when starting out. There always seems to be a quest to do. That's spelled Nestone.
So this is a town.
Yep. And you are joined by your party members who you have been traveling with for somewhere between half a year to a year since you were level 0. Now you are level 2. And your party members are Dobrin,
Dobrin.
Dobrin, Dobren,
Dobren.
Dobren, and he is a dwarf cleric. Whose morning star is never far from his reach. You are also accompanied by Winna.
Winna.
Wina.
W-I.
She is a human who looks too small for the great sword she wields.
This isn't his character. I'm assuming they're a fighter or a paladin.
She is.
Oh no, barbarian, because it's too small.
She is a fighter.
Oh, fighter.
Each of you is going to get an individual session 0 with the other players. I'm going to use your behavior and what I know of your characters to influence the decisions going forward. I'm going to keep the others' behaviors to a minimum until they actually have the chance to do some stuff, But this beginning part doesn't entirely matter how the events take place, and so if there's some deviation, that's okay. Because it all matters about to the beginning point where we will start our session plan. So this is just establishing something. So you have now met, well, you already have met them for a while. You've been friends with Dobrin and Winna. And you think that Dobrin and Winna might even have feelings for each other. But they both seem to not want to talk about it ever. They have been kind to you despite your difference. to others, and you appreciate them for it. And Dobrin has definitely saved your life a time or two with his healing magic, and Winna has gotten you out of a tough spot or more. You're very familiar with each other. Neststone, the small town that you're in, is governed by mainly a few wealthy families that often end their political meetings with drunken brawls. The town boasts excellent breweries, fertile farmlands, and a magnificent clockmaker's shop built inside an old manor called Fonda's Clocks. In the Adventurers District, surrounded by winding streets and busy shops, you find yourself with your party on a Thursday morning at Heroes Ale House. This is a hot spot for quest postings. The ale house is nestled between a library and a confectioner's shop. The building itself is a two-story half-timbered inn containing several small rooms with wooden cots, a common area with many hammocks, and a stable in the back with a room for a few horses. The main bar area has well-made wooden tables and chairs. Would you like to enter?
Yeah, Kaga will enter.
The innkeeper is an extra stout dwarf named Gilly. He was once an adventurer, it seems, by his wall of trophies behind him.
Kaga eyes those, but clearly sees what's the biggest trophy on
Appears to be an owl bear.
Tribe's taking down a couple of those.
Gilly says, "Oh, you like that? I got even a bigger one in the house."
Oh, I would very much like to see that sometime. My tribe is very fond of hunting exotic creatures like that.
I used to keep it here, but then people used to take it off the wall and they would put it on their own heads while they danced. And so now I just keep the small one I don't care about as much.
That seems rather disrespectful of a trophy like that.
An elf approaches the bar and attempts to order a drink from the bartender, to which he pays them no mind,
Right.
as if the elf did not even speak.
Must be one of those rivalries I've heard of. Whispering to myself. So,
Dobrin appears to be eyeing the menu, wanting to try the house ale.
Sir, this is your establishment, correct? Right?
Oh, it is.
And your name?
My name is Gilly.
Gilly.
We got a whole quest board over there, filled with stuff to do if you need to look at it.
Anything interesting to hunt?
There might be. I haven't looked at it myself today.
Some of the more common things to take care of around here.
Winna appears to be eyeing the board and skimming through the different quests.
Mm-hmm.
And by the wrinkle of her nose, it doesn't seem like she's finding anything interesting. Would you like to look at the quest yourself?
I'll take a look while keeping ear on Gilly.
Mm-hmm. You notice as you turn your back that the elf appears to raise their voice, and Gilly still seems to pay them no mind. The elf is, Sir, did you hear me? I'd like some meat, please.
Does anyone seem bothered by the elves or his voice?
It seems like a couple of people are eyeing the elf and Gilly curiously, and a um, person who seems to be mopping the floors seems to be laughing to themselves. And there's a couple of people who look like they may as well have their name carved on their seats at the bar, also chuckling to themselves.
Hmm. What to do
As you walk, as you walk past the person who's mopping the floor, um, you hear them mumble to themselves, "Bless that curse."
there? Curse? I thought I had knowledge arcana for fables. We must not put that in. I'll look that
Okay. And let's see. As you approach the quest board, you notice that there are several listings. Um, but Winna scoffs at it and waves her hand across the lot of them and says, "They're all low paying."
later. Anything interesting to hunt?
Mm, not really. I mean, like, there's like somebody asking for a wolf to be taken care of, but I mean, it's just a silly wolf. We've taken care of plenty of those. I say that we go and look somewhere else.
Well, it'll be hold up here for quite some time. For a little while at least. Maybe there is something around here.
Hmm.
Besides, I'm tired of walking. My paws are killing me.
Well, I just want a job that pays some gold. And as if summoned by those words, a hooded figure appears from the shadows. I hear you would like some gold.
They do.
Oh, you can certainly do hunting first.
What are we hunting? Magical creatures? Uh, dangerous lions? Perhaps even a chimera?
I was thinking undead.
Kaga's tried as always.
Dobrin seems to perk up at the word undead and is like, I could do that.
I for certainly can't hunt this about anything, but just something new like this undead is unfamiliar to Kaga's history.
Winna shrugs her shoulders and says, Dobrin does have his heels. He can take care of undead pretty easily. It might be easy coin. How much is to pay? The hooded figure says, how does 500 gold each sound?
That's very interesting. That's something that we can definitely look into, even if the hunt isn't quite worthwhile.
Yes, I agree, says Una. And Dobrin says, I'm in.
Go ahead and keep talking.
So, the quest to details, if I will. Una says, yes, yes, get to those. I want to make sure I earn every gold of that coin. So, you and your party will travel through the northern gate of the town, through the northern trail, and you will enter through the north entrance of a dungeon that is hidden in the forest nearby. This dungeon is known to the town, however, the amount of undead that have been swarming it have been preventing local archaeologists from examining the ruins, and they would very much like to do so. And so, we need a party like yourselves to take care of these pesky undead for us. That would be most enjoyable.
Will I be needing to clear all of the undead in the dungeons or the caverns, or just an area in particular?
Yes, it will need to be completely cleared. There is something there to keep your eyes out for. However, I am unable to tell you exactly what that may be. There have just been rumors.
Rumors of something powerful inside?
Perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Maybe this will be a fun hunt.
This, and he holds up a key,
Mm-hmm.
is a key to my room here. When you have returned, bring me proof of your victory, and the gold shall be yours.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to take the key?
Yes, I will take key, and I guess I have a tendency to lose some things every now and then. I think Dobrin will probably be wanting to keep this on his person.
Okay. If you enter the room empty-handed, though, you will be sorry.
I think some people might find this a bit disturbing, but I think a ring of ears will be fine.
A what?
A ring of ears for evidence
Oh,
for every undead creature that may be in the dungeon.
ears.
I mean, the tribe used to bring ears from. It's like goblins for hire sometimes. Not as heavy as heads.
I suppose that would suffice as evidence. Anyways, good luck on your travels, and he seems to go back into the crowd. Now, When would you like to set out?
I'm assuming it's
It's Thursday morning right now.
Thursday morning. I think we might want to take a couple hours to prep, get together, talk to Dobrin, see what equipment would be useful against the undead, and see if I need to update my gear with anything.
Alright. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And we will kind of fast forward through that. What kind of so he disappeared already. All he said was northern route to northern entrance in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You did
there
say
isn't really a road into the forest from the north, so like he may be talking about something that only locals really know.
he did mention that the locals, it's well known by the locals, so you probably want to talk with them
Okay.
into more exact details.
Okay. Sounds good. But we'll probably be very good. Are you ready to start asking around and stuff, or what are you gonna
Yes, I guess we could probably start with Gilly,
do?
the
Okay.
barkeep.
All right. The elf is still not gotten his attention.
Um, as I'm approaching her, he's gonna say, "Talk to that individual."
And Gilly's like, what?
It's nothing.
And Dobrin, also a dwarf, like Gilly, is like, I understand, okay? The man is an elf, but you don't have to ignore him all the livelong day. He wants to give you his coin. And Gilly's like, there's an elf? Where? I'm so sorry, elf, wherever you may be. And by so sorry, I mean bless this curse. What's the elf trying to get?
I think a drink.
What drink? We have lots.
uh, sir,
Yes.
what are you looking for?
Oh, the elf. The elf wants meat.
You want some meat, I guess.
I just want a bloody mead. And this man is refusing me service for no reason. He's being completely racist.
I think he mentioned a curse.
Yes, what was that curse thing about?
I don't know.
And Dobrin's like, the elf wants to know what the curse is about. And Gilly's like, oh yeah, the curse. So funny thing is, a witch cursed me when I was an adventurer, and funny thing is, I cannot uh see nor hear elves ever. Good thing I'm not friends with anybody, or even better, shacking up with one.
Yeah, idea.
Anyway,
Talk to me after you get your drink.
the elf is like, okay, I'm just excited for my drink finally, and picks up the drink.
Anyways, Gilly, do you know of a dungeon north of the town?
Oi, yeah, there's one in the forest.
One that's overrun with undead?
Yeah, I have heard that. I know that there's some people wanting to go and take a look at all of the, fancy writing on the wall and whatnot. So, yeah, I think that I've heard that they're trying to get someone out there, but I mean, like, it's kind of a job, you know.
But,
And also, I don't know if anybody who's paying for the job.
well, we've heard rumors, and we just wanted to take a peek around the place just to get an idea of what's going on around there.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, so, uh, yeah, I can definitely give you a vague idea. You got a parchment.
What hunter doesn't carry a parchment
Okay. And
I can also draw.
Gilly takes a crude pencil out from behind the bar. Just seems to be a stick of charcoal tied to a piece of wood for reinforcement, and does a fast little sketch, and you get a sketch of a very crude and basic sketch. And so he gives you some bushes that kind of maybe are trees. And he says, now that's the forest. And then to the southeast, he draws kind of like a wiggly shape. And he says, and that's Neston. And um, and which direction were you gonna go to get this way? There's a few different ways.
I heard it was north.
North. Well, if you want to go north, you're probably gonna want to go like there, and especially if you're gonna go north into the forest, maybe like that. And then you're kind of, it's actually pretty dead on in the middle, and so probably gonna want to go about like that, roughly.
Center of the woods. Perfect directions. Yes.
All right. Um, and yeah, that map will give you a +3 on your check
Oh, nice.
to navigate. Would you like to do any more investigating before you take off?
I think I want her to stop by the library. There might be more better information there.
Okay. Winna's like, can you even read?
Some.
Okay, so you go to the local library. It is actually just right next door
Mhm.
because the ale house is between the library. So once you go in, what do you do?
Well, I guess we could. Well, I'll gotta head to the custodian or whoever's at the desk.
Oh, custodian, like is the cleaning up person. I think you were thinking about like the librarian.
Librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. The librarian eyes you.
Hey, hello. Uh, I would like to know if you know of a local dungeon or have any maps to one in the northern reaches.
There are a few dungeons in the area, but which one specifically?
I think this one in particular is in the northern forest of Nesta. Like, I've heard it's been overwhelmed with undead, so it's yeah.
Hmm. Yes, I think I know which one you speak. Just going back to the outside noises. I think I know which one you speak. I don't exactly have a map to it because most of it is another way. Um, However, I can help clarify that scribbling that you've got there.
Yes.
Um, she details it a little bit more for you and gives you a couple of points to look for to keep going or to back off from. Um, so she says, "Oh, there's a There's a boulder here that has a tall point to it that doesn't look like any of the others around. And so that will be one where you know to start heading westward. And then over about here, there is certain types of flowers, and that grow near the point of the forest that you should go into. And you'll start to notice that you're getting close to the ruin when you start seeing man-made looking stone upon around the place. It's
Mm-hmm.
quite simple.
Ooh, very nice, very nice. Also,
That will give you an additional +3 to your check.
we were also told there were some scholars investigating the ruin. Would they be able to give me better detail to the place?
They might, but they are not here today.
Are they at the ruin right now?
I'm not exactly sure where they are.
Hmm. Well, we have some time yet before it gets dark, before we have to head out. But thank you very much. And do you by chance have a book on local beasts?
Yes, on the third bookshelf and fourth row down, there should be a few books on local creatures.
I'll be sure to check it out when I have time. Thank you very much.
One is like, I want to go. Do you want to do any more investigating? Or
Uh,
do you want to go?
I don't want to do all the investigating. I guess we can start heading out. That's
Okay,
I'll get it done.
alright. So, which entrance do you leave from?
Well, we'll do as the hooded figure said. We'll leave by the north gate.
Okay. And will you continue on to the point of the boulder before making your turn?
Yes, probably I'll continue towards the boulder. I'll also at the time make a survival check to ensure I stay on the right track.
Make that check to even determine if you see the boulder.
This will be included in the overall map check, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 5 + 6.
It's going to be the survival.
Yeah, survival. But we already have a base of 11 starting out, plus ability. That's 21.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You find the abnormally pointy boulder compared to all of the rocks in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that that is the correct place to turn. And you also successfully note the colored flowers along your way. This total journey does end up taking you all the rest of the day, and as you're approaching the flower area, you are seeing that it is approaching nightfall.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to set up camp?
I think this would be a good spot for a camp. Don't really walk into a dungeon before at nightfall or in the middle of the night.
Yes, that would be a good idea. Let's all start the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And, between all of you, you get camp going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, how are you going to arrange? Are you going to do a watch?
Kaga would volunteer for the first watch, and I think Winna would probably take up the next, while Doran pulls up the last watch.
Sounds good to us. All right. The night is uneventful.
Mm.
Would you like to start off into the forest.
Yes, we'll start off in the forest, and I'll make a survival check to make sure we are still on the same route. That's 8 plus 11, 19.
Yes, you are going the correct way, you feel.
Mm-hmm. Good, good.
All right, so the party continues in through the forest, and there does seem to be some, minor wildlife going on, but nothing too
Mm-hmm.
unusual. And eventually, you approach a ruin.
Mm.
What would you like to do?
I would like to at first make uh, a perception check to see if I can pick up any recent activities outside the room and see if there's anything that's been going on that's not quite natural.
Mhm.
So I have a plus 6 to perception, total of 10.
Everything seems normal.
Well, something it doesn't really seem out of the ordinary than a regular ruin, other than there's a ruin. I guess we should start preparing ourselves to head in. Uh, who would like to take the lead?
Me, let's go, says Lena.
All right, after you.
And she heads straight into the entrance um, with her head held high. And you guys enter into some dark hallways. Now, I know this photo has some dim lighting, but that's not actually accurate to this. It is dark.
Dark. And when you might want to light a torch. Although Dublin and I are probably fine without
Well, I'm just afraid that if I light the torch, that it's going to alert unwanted attention. But I suppose I can.
one. You can. Why don't you stand about maybe like 15 to 20 paces ahead? I'll have you covered. Don't worry.
Okay. So, when it goes ahead and lights a torch, and you guys see that there are, in fact, writing along the walls in uh, in some language.
Probably nothing that I know. I know the whole common Aklo.
Yeah, nothing familiar to you, unless you'd like to roll linguistics to at least know what it is, even if you can't read it.
Don't I be trained in linguistics and make a roll for that?
Yeah, do you not have it?
I'm not trained, although I do have a skill point into it.
Oh yeah, no, you can do it.
Oh,
You are trained as soon as you have a skill point.
right. I mean, I guess a class skill is more important, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that only just gives you a buff.
16 total.
Um, you think that this might be Necrol.
This is the dead tongue. Dobin, you know dead things.
Doesn't mean I can read it,
Fair enough.
but you're right, it is Necrol.
Maybe we can get a scratch of some of it, see if someone can look into it, maybe.
Mm, perhaps, and he starts ruffling through his sack looking for some stuff, and Winna says, "Look alive!
Mm.
I heard something."
What do we have?
Would you like to roll for initiative?
Sure, we can do that. I could. Can I use a stealth check going into initiative?
Sure.
Okay. So this will be. Can I do the stealth prior to initiative or after?
Roll your initiative check.
That's 17.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your stealth if you want.
Mm-hmm. 20.
All right.
Ooh, sneaky no.
All right. Well, Winna is looking around with the torch, trying to discover the source of the noise when suddenly an undead comes from around the corner. And before she even has a moment to react, chomps down on her upper shoulder
Mm.
and drags her to the ground. Dobrin tries to dive in to help her, and another undead appears. And another, and another,
Oh,
and another. You and your companions fight hard. However, as you fight your way through the halls and you grimace through your wounds, you eventually find yourself at a dead end. And before you realize what's even happened, you realize that you, Kaga, are the last one standing.
no. This is
It appears as if Dobrin and Winna have fallen.
mm, this was not a good fight.
And we'll end the session there.
That was a good start.
Yep. So I will need to do the session zeros with the other players,
Mm-hmm.
and then we will come back for session one. Thank you so much for listening. That has been Kaga's point of view,
Mm-hmm.
session zero of Innocence Lost.